they don't have any power. If they got together, then they might actually have some power, but they don't. But just try and spread the information, make them uncomfortable with it, possibly, but educate them about it. Who knows? You might come across a good one who brings it up, and something might happen. You never know. And also let your local and national media know about it. You will get poo-pooed about it, but just provide them with evidence and make them uncomfortable. Make them look like they're amateurs. Like I think that Met Office email made them look like amateurs, or they're just being rude and not giving me information which should be widely available. Evidence from the past. Where is it? From your archive department. Don't you have any pictures from the skies from the 70s and 80s? Anyway, what I would say about what to do, there's a couple of days coming up about chemtrail action. This Saturday, the 20th of November, myself and... Is Denny still here, or has she gone? She had to go. Myself, Denny, Magda, I think commonly known as Nathan as well, I'm not sure who else, are meeting at 12 o'clock outside Hyde Park Station. There's some sort of, I think, anti-war demo going on or something in Hyde Park that day, Denny was saying, and we're going to give out leaflets about chemtrails. And this is sort of a Facebook campaign.
Start it up, Facebook.
This is a Facebook campaign, I think an international one, to spread awareness about the chemtrail issue, because it's very important. We're breathing this stuff in, it's in our water supplies, we need to try and sort this out and get people to answer for this. There's another major one coming up on Friday the 25th of March 2011 as well. So if anybody's on Facebook, try and make contact with me, Chris Moffett, or anybody here that you know, and you'll be able to find out the details of that. I'm not sure what the campaign's actually called, but that's on Friday the 25th of March 2011, another worldwide chemtrail day, to try and get out there and educate people. So what I would say finally is, with the evidence of government cover-ups that I've explained about the spraying, but also government cover-ups about loads of other things that we know from the past, I would say, because they have an extremely dubious record of telling the truth on important issues, do you believe them when they deny chemtrails? The choice is yours. At the end of the day, the choice is yours. So, thank you very much. So, is there a few questions before we move on? Yep.
I think one question that a few people that I know that have said, right, why don't they just put whatever toxins they're putting out in normal aircraft, passenger planes, as opposed to just, these special planes that go out, you see?
Yeah.
But why don't they just put them in the...
I don't... There's no evidence that they do this. I mean,
I live in London City Airport, and they've changed the flight now to do that. This is quite interesting because
hold on. Actually, do you want
passenger planes?
Do you want to say something, Mark?
Yeah. Well, it would appear that they're actually coming from small passenger planes, because the flight path to London City Airport has now changed. It's over where I live. There used to be no planes going over. So they're definitely coming out of small passenger aircraft. There's no doubt about that, because they're on that flight path going that way. Now, the crisscross over the... I've got loads of photographs of it. But what's also interesting is...
How do you know they've changed the flight paths?
Well, the London City Airport, when I moved there, didn't exist, right? So basically, there's
observation.
I'm not saying that they've changed the flight paths for London City Airport, but there's more flight paths going to the airport now, right? From different directions. Yeah. They used to just come from west to east, but now they come from north to east as well. Okay, so you've got a huge amount of crisscrossing lines going on, and they definitely are doing it. They're quite high altitude, most of them, right? So that's presumably most of them are landing in Docklands, right?
Yeah.
So it would appear that would be the case. Yeah. And that's all I'm saying is that amount of aircraft. It's not like there's just one or two. There's a huge amount of chemtrails that come.
But especially these crisscross patterns that you see sometimes are they seem strange flight patterns.
Yes, exactly.
For ordinary aircraft.
The other thing I wanted to say to you is about cloud seeding is that is actually a corporate business. Basically, if you want to cloud seed, you pay enough money and they'll do it.
With the modification Inc.
Yeah, that's right. Do you know about this, Alex? Yeah.
Let me just say there's the cloud seeding thing. There's a Weather Modification Association, in fact. There's a whole load of companies. You can guess it's an association, it's a whole load of companies. One of these companies is called Weather Modification Inc. and their website, you can go on their website and they've got all the planes and they'll do whatever you want. They'll sell you the plane or fit it out or they'll fit your plane out. But this, and they claim to have been doing this, well I believe them basically, since 1961, but this is slightly different. This isn't quite the same thing, I think, as what you would call chemtrails. Because
no, Chris's point was
it's
that
increasing the precipitation.
Cloud seeding.
Right, yeah, this is the weather modification which has been going on for a long time.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily the same thing as chemtrails. This is where all of this kind of discussion gets very murky, because you've got this mix of weather modification, which has been going on for a long time, and cloud seeding, and that is so admitted. You'll just find newspaper articles about the Chinese doing it in before the Beijing Games in 2008, and Lynmouth. There's a massive history.
There's people at the Woodstock Festival who say that they saw planes cloud seeding as well to cause the huge rains that happened there.
Okay. I've done a lot of research into geoengineering, and I've read a lot of government documents from over many years. I've got UK government documents. Chris probably hasn't seen this one. I found a particular one proposing all of the geoengineering, and in there they actually mention some of the things that they want to, some of the particulate matter actually being metals, and they just say this with no kind of, that might be a bit of a problem. Occasionally they say, there could be problems from this or something like that, but we best have it as a plan B in case we don't get to a carbon neutral society and the global warming gets so incredible that we've got to have this one up our sleeve. And because of that, we need to keep on doing the testing. Now, I just want to tell you a little bit about some of my own inquiries into geoengineering, chemtrails. There's a government document that came out this year called the Regulation of Geoengineering. And a second one came out in September, a much shorter one. So the first one is loads of different evidence from people like David Keith, that Chris was talking about before, and Keith Blackstock, and basically geoengineers giving their presentations and some video conference and so on, congratulating themselves about having low carbon footprints because they're doing it from video conference and all that sort of crap. But in any case, all sorts of interesting things in this document. Actually, I'll tell you just one, which is just bizarre. David Keith, he actually says in there that with technology that they now have, a rich individual could trigger an ice age. He actually says that. I don't know what you want to say about that, but he says that just in conversation, in discussion. So, a rich individual currently could trigger an ice age if they wanted to, which is just insane, but he said it. So, there's...
Well, I'm not worried because I trust people in charge.
Exactly. There's a particular section in this document, and obviously you've got to, when you start researching this, you start to learn the terms, because geoengineering is a very, very, very big topic. It's not at all just about splaying from pranes. It's not at all just about that. Go with it. It's not at all just about that. It's all sorts of crap, like reflective surfaces on buildings to reflect the sunlight, and it gets even weirder. I've got UK government documents where they're talking about, you're going to have to prepare yourself for this, covering deserts in plastic. And they actually do a costing for it. They say that this would cost about $16 trillion, and if we cover thousands of square kilometres with plastic, then this could help reflect the sun. And also another one, hairy leaves, genetically this sounds so stupid, but I'm quoting what's in these documents. I know I look like an idiot even saying it, but it's in these documents. Genetically modified hairy leaves that will reflect sunlight.